Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. The Federal Road Safety Corps recommended back in October 2016 a nationwide ban on commercial motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, to reduce accidents on the roads. According to the reports we read, motorcycle accidents ranked third after cars, which accounted for 457 cases, or 36%, I should say, followed by minibuses with 243, or 19% of the total. Now, what are your thoughts on this recommendation? As you said earlier, it was made back in October, but we're revisiting it because there have been lots of accidents due to Okada riders. So you can call us on 070-806-6814. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So this recommendation was made, but do we bring it back? I mean, do we bring it back to the fore?
We are revisiting it because even today in the newspapers, FRC is recommending that we start buying motorcycles to even go on highway. I'm sorry, bicycles to even go on highway, that when people ride bicycles, car crashes reduce.
Really?
Yes, I read it in the papers today. So we're wondering what's happening here. But
bicycle is not a motorcycle.
No, I said bicycle. Yeah, I made an initial error. Now, you know that we've had the issue of banning motorcycles on our highways in Lagos. They can only ply inner roads and streets and things like that. But now FRSC is saying all over Nigeria, they don't want motorcycles on our roads. How do we implement that? Because the need for motorcycles came with the inadequate transportation system in Nigeria.
I also think that the need for motorcycles came because we got really lazy. I used to walk a length of road, like my church, when I was living with my parents, was CAC. And I literally used to walk from our house to CAC, to church in the morning, to fellowship in the evening. Suddenly, motorcycles came. And as they came, it became 20 naira. Why should I walk? 20 naira will get me to the church without having to walk. And my mom, literally everybody used to walk to church. Now we all feel like we can't walk again, even within a short distance.
We're not eating
well. But that is sedentary life is one of the reasons that we have a lot of sickness going on. But when you consider 36% of accidents caused by motorcycles, then you understand why we should deal with that issue and bring it to a close. When they reduced the transit route which we could take under Fashola, there was a statistics even quoted by the governor then that Igbobi recorded less cases of broken legs coming to the hospital. So obviously there is a problem that we can solve without motorcycles. It's convenient. I won't lie. This morning the traffic was serious. I had to tell my staff to carry my children via motorcycle or to the children's school. But because we had an option, if we didn't, we would have stayed there. And it was a dangerous thing. It was really dangerous. I shouldn't have done it, but I had to. If I didn't have a choice, I would.
So Okadas actually do come in handy, you're saying?
Okada come in handy, but it is not the best way. And if we're looking towards what would save lives and what would be productive, people leave their jobs. See the problem with what is going on right now. You see men that used to do mechanic. They would stop mechanic work. It's not profitable. You see bricklayer, they stop bricklayer work. It's not profitable. If I can save money, buy bike. I'm making money every day. So we lose our artisans.
A security guard came to me last week and said that he wants to buy Okada. And I'm wondering,
we lose artisans into motorcycle business. And because they are not trained for the job, we lose more lives doing this. We lose babies, we lose mothers, we lose... It is crazy.
That's also more painful. Well, let me come to you, because that's more painful, because I see mothers carrying 3 children on this bike. And I thought they banned this stuff. I still see them even
implementation. So even this one, if they even execute it, they won't implement. Even if they say they pass it into law, it won't be implemented.
There was a year I got really busy and I needed a driver. And I employed this gentleman. And the way he was driving on 3rd Milan Bridge, I thought I would literally enter inside the lagoon. Because it was afterwards, when I got home, I first of all thank God that I got back home safe. And I asked the guy, please, what were you riding before? He was an Okada rider. I said, goodness me. And somebody, that day, I just paid him the salary for that one day. And that was the since then, I've not recovered. I've not even attempted to look for a driver. And you see, the thing is, we took, what's it called, the Keke Napep.
Yes.
These people graduate, when when they banned the Okadas, they moved to
just as reckless.
And they are as reckless as these Okada riders. I was leaving my house one morning, 7 a.m. I think I mentioned this, and I saw two guys on an Okada, and a woman was standing with her handbag, and they drove towards her, and tried to snatch her bags. Now, in terms of crime rating, people use a lot because it's easier to escape with Okada than with a vehicle. So a lot of these people use Okadas to rob. I have been robbed also in Benin when I was in my IT with Okada. So I think Okada is not. I love the fact that Tokpe mentioned about how we have become sedentary in our lifestyle. Okada has no profitable use for us. Then, if at all the government want to even approve of Okada, do we have proper Okada lanes? No. It was okay. Fashola's construction of the Wemco Road, he attempted to construct bicycle lanes. And of course, Okada can also ply that route. But the truth is that we don't have proper lanes for these people. And once you're driving, some of them always go to your blind spot. Before you turn, you see somebody in front. They are very reckless, and most of them are not trained. So I think in all, what's it called? If you want to check the disadvantages or the menace they cause, it's much more than the advantage. You know, it's better you get there alive and safe than for you to die in the process.
But you see, the advantage is huge. In terms of job creation. There are many graduates that they will just look at themselves rather than sitting at home doing nothing. Let me go and start riding Okada.
Let me tell you.
And they actually make a sizable amount of money every day. Now, so as much as they use it for crime, it also reduces crime because they are at least gainfully employed.
Jumoke, the advent of this, I don't want to call it the new company, the taxi company, you know it now. We know that they are employing crazily. And they're employing graduates. So, I mean, if you want to talk about...
So you're saying that we should look for alternatives.
And that option is even much, much better because there's dignity in that labor.
Okay, let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
I'm there.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. One thing I observe is that before they can implement anything, there must be provision. They want to ban Okada now. They don't consider the risk, the outcome, the consequence. Where is the work out there? There are many graduates. No work. If they should ban Okada, people are ready to go extra mile. They can do anything. They are still talking of kidnapping. I'm telling you, they will be entering people's house with guns. So it's we people that don't know anything that will survive it. They should make a provision for these guys. So that's all I have to say. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Samuel.
In Lagos, you can even if you complain about Okadas in Lagos, then you have not experienced some places where you see Okada. Yenegua, it is Okada, as like there are barely cars. Everybody is on Okada.
Do they have?
That's the focus. So if you want to, and I totally agree with this policy to phase them out, but it must be recommendation. I think it must be phased out in a way that you first register all of them. If you have a bike, bring your bike and register. We register all the bike, that's data capture. Then we plan how you will stop plying the road, and then we would fix you into something else. But if you think you will stop having bikes on the road and you will not have a repercussion of something else happening, it's a joke. True. It would happen because the number of people that are being employed via this means is huge.
It's huge.
Well, maybe it's time for us to actually take these guys into technical schools.
That's what I'm saying. There must be a phase plan.
Let's find options because there are other options.
But don't just say you want to stop it.
We've gone to other parts of the world where they don't have. You have to walk miles to get to a bus stop. You have to keep walking. So the point is that there are options. Just like somebody, I don't want to say the government all the time, but somebody must have that initiative of see what we can do. How do we phase
developed countries? There's no such thing as Okada.
Not even tricycle.
And yet they still commute.
Yes,
India is not developed now.
Is that not where they're bringing those Keke Marwa from? You don't want to now come. Look at how they have turned Nigeria to.
Let me take Nigeria. Let me take this call. Hello, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Mariah just scattered my head.
Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Good morning. Go ahead. Good morning.
Yes, my contribution is the federal government should provide alternative before the ban of this motorcycle.
We agree.
All right, thanks for calling. Now, there's a motorbike that can be creatively constructed with where the passengers can actually sit down comfortably. I've seen, I don't know what it's called, but there's something that you can have like a caddy.
Are they less prone to accidents?
No, but they're probably less prone because they don't go as fast as those bikes. You can have a small caddy on the side where your customer can sit down comfortably.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's why tourism. That's why used to take you slowly around it and check. It's not for
the reason for the accidents is not actually the motorcycle that caused an accident. It is the reckless driving of the motorcycle drivers that's causing it.
Riders.
So the motorcycle riders. So here's the thing: if you want to, you can easily capture the data of all of them because every single motorcycle rider pays taxes every day. So you can get them to get their data, train them, and put a speed limit on their driving.
Exactly. That's what I was going to the
speed limit.
Today, the FRC is actually launching the speed limits on commercial buses.
Yes.
So hopefully, if they can do the same on Okada, they can actually limit how fast.
Commercial buses don't speed. Commercial buses drive rough.
They'll go from state to state. They speed, trust me.
Yeah,
Let me take this call. Hello, are you there, Mohammed?
Hello, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
First time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. So you cannot just say they should ban Okada, or there are a lot of graduates and family men that were using this as a means of feeding their family. And the government, is nothing to write home about at the moment. So please, the man should reverse, should not even talk about anything like that at all.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Even helmets that they used to use before. Now, these days, I don't see them wearing helmets.
Okay, Olabode says, good morning, ladies. You need to see them along Ikeja to Yanokwaja facing one way, and the traffic personnel see them. Very sad. I am for Israel says, ban Okada is rather preposterous right now. Nigerians are hungry. They should look for alternatives and build good roads. Last one, Adebisi Adewusi says, what happens to those who are put out of jobs once they are banned? Increase in crime is a likely effect. Provide alternatives.
Well,
I'm pretty much saying the same thing.
So that because once we start the real system, hopefully we employ some more people as
train them as coaches,
ticketers, and all that. So there'll be other options, hopefully.
Increase more BRT buses.
But I should say we should do it in phases. We can't do it drastically. All right, let's take a quick break now. When we return, we heard that there's high cost in transportation in Lagos State. Is that true?
You heard.
I heard. I don't participate in the matter, but I heard. So we're going to discuss. We're going to have a guest to come and help us understand it better. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right, thanks for staying with us. The recent economic downturn in the country, the cost of transportation in Nigeria, especially in Lagos State, is becoming alarming. This has affected the lives and lifestyle of most Lagosians since Lagos is highly populated. Meanwhile, the Bus Rapid Transit, BRT in Lagos, has also announced that it will increase transport fares on all its routes by February as the cost of running operations is skyrocketing. Now, joining us on the show is the Chief Financial Officer, Bus Rapid Transit, Mr. Tokwe Adeniji. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
Call us on 070-806-6801. And you can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Aside from the financial angle, we're going to ask you everything about BRT. So I hope you're ready for that question.
I'm good to go.
But yeah, is it true that you guys have increased your fares, and why have you?
Well, we have not yet increased the fares. We are working with the government from Lamata to the ministry, and we are trying to see how to get an approval to increase the fares. What this is an engagement of the public, the commuters. Currently, we are from Ikorodu to TBS, that is our corridor. But this, we are engaging our people. We are trying to say, look, a lot of things are happening in the business. For the kind of services that we give to you, we want to be able to cover the cost. And that is why once this fare increase, which we are hopeful,
to CMS.
is 195 on our transport. But let me say this. Look, Ikorodu to my 2, to my 12, that we charge 75. The yellow buses, when we call downforce, charge 150 naira.
Twice the amount.
Yes. Okay. And so for us it is, and you think about the things that have driven these prices to this point. It's first things first. You have diesel.
Price increase.
When we started this project in 2015, the price of diesel was about 120 naira. The diesel we bought last week or 2 weeks ago or thereabout was about 250 or 260 naira. Now we consume millions of liters of diesel a year. And so you can imagine where 120 to 260 takes you to in the light of the quantity.
But do you have a fuel dump?
Yes, we do.
So if you have that, it means that you're getting your diesel directly from the depot, right?
Yes, from major vendors.
So you might not pay as much as 260 per liter like we would pay. But that's aside.
Yeah.
What is the cost of the BRT, like per route, between Ikorodu to CMS? What will it cost the BRT itself, and how much revenue is the BRT generating?
Okay, in terms of cost, you think about the drivers, the things that go into what make up the cost. For us, the buses have come in from abroad. There is a dollar-denominated loan component of our financing. So you think about a dollar that you did a deal when it was 160. It was 168 when we did the deal.
Whoa.
And the dollar is now knocking on the doors of 500. So you think about that for a huge sum of money. We have over 400 buses on our fleet.
Wow.
So you can imagine how much is involved now. The spares that we use for the buses, because of the size of the fleet, we ship all of these things in. You are not shipping at 160x naira. And the forex is simply not available. You are shipping at almost 500 for every single spare you have to buy. The tires that we replace, and to give you an idea of how many tires we are looking at, each bus has 6 tires. And you have over 400 buses. So at every point in time, you have more than 2,400 tires.
So how often do you change the tires?
Because of the fact that these buses go from as early as 5 a.m. in the morning to as late as 10 p.m. in the night, you probably have to change tires in 6 months or less. And you have to, the tires you were buying for 70,000, you have to buy for almost 150,000.
Wow.
And we have notices from our tire vendor saying, you know what, and you have to understand with these guys, they are actually bringing in these tires as well. And they are giving us notices saying, you know what, we might have to review prices as well.
Your costs have increased.
Precisely,
more than
because
doubled.
more than doubled. And the kind of fare increase that we are imagining is not even something that takes it to the level of downfall. So at the end of the day, I still believe very strongly that we will still be more affordable than cheaper than taking downfall. Now, you think about the fact that on our own lanes we use the blue BRT, and these vehicles are clean, they're standard, they're up to what the government will expect to show the kind of respect for the people. And so you have air-conditioned buses, you have TV screen, you have to run all of these things. And the standard cannot be less than that, because I can imagine that the government is trying to show respect for commuters. You don't want to go into a bus and come out dirtier than when you went in.
Yes, so I have a question.
Yes.
I know that those buses have wraparound adverts.
Yes.
That bring in a lot of money.
Yes.
The screens within the bus might show entertainment, but they are paid for also because they get adverts within those things.
Yes.
So you have other money-making activities centered around the fact that you are carrying a number of people. You have eyeballs.
Yes.
Why wouldn't the government focus on using the resources to make money as opposed to charging the people that are already really suffering from the general inflation? So you make money, let's increase our
the charges of adverts.
Isn't that an overprojection?
I'm saying that because with the business, in social business, and transportation shouldn't necessarily, from the government's participation angle, be a for-profit business. It should be a self-sustaining business, but not necessarily for-profit. So is there any angle to look at it to make it social business in terms of we charge more from some people that can afford to pay more, like the advert placement agencies, and then use it to subsidize those that are entering the buses?
Okay, so there are a couple of questions there. And my name is Tokwe too. So there are a couple of questions there. And the first thing is this. With regards to transportation, the strategy the government has used is to bring in private companies. So
they want to
it's for money.
So it's not even an entirely for profit, it's largely for survival. So it is not exactly entirely social. What the government does is to do the regulation to make sure that we are not exploiting the people. We are not doing. So the government puts a lot of controls and give you an environment as a company to do this thing.
True.
Because the government can definitely not do everything.
Yeah.
Now that's a question of that. With regards to the advert and the screens, these things depend on private companies. So if you were thinking that, look, I would get X from advert, everybody is shutting down their offices. Recession. So people are not necessarily investing a lot into trying to do all of these things again. So it is, the economy has affected so many people's projections.
I hear to your point, because I know it's pretty ambitious to think that you're getting X amount of money from advertising. Because I mean, I'm also in the industry and I know how difficult it is. Because the slice is getting thinner. Everybody's going to the same companies.
Precisely.
Everybody's looking for the same reports. So it's difficult to assume that you're going to make anything tangible to cover those costs you mentioned from 160 something to $500. Yes.
But it's a vicious circle then, Mariah, that the companies that are closing down, that are unable to pay you adverts, their staff are the ones who want to enter the bus and now unemployed.
Yes.
So when you're now saying, sorry, your guy, I can't charge you 75 naira from Ikorodu to Mile 12 anymore. It's now 100 naira. For someone who has lost his job, how do we do it? So when less people now start to enter BRT, you further lose money.
Yes, but the basis of this is on the flip side. On the flip side, you don't want to have a scenario where it is difficult to do this thing. Yeah. That is the truth. So we are not. Look, the solution, and there's a lot of engagement at all levels of government, from regulatory in terms of Lamata to even the ministry and all of that, to see how to get to an amount that is workable.
But I wanted to ask a question.
I'll let you ask a question, but I want to prefer another solution.
Yeah.
Maybe what would help to give you more money is if people like Jumoke stop using their cars.
That's what I wanted to say.
Ride these buses. So maybe those that can actually have their own business and they're managing themselves, you can actually pay the 200 naira, 300 naira with this. Then you fund them and they can then be able to cover the cost. Yes.
The question I wanted to ask, because the vision for BRT from day one was to ensure that people like us that have cars can go park our vehicles and enter the BRT buses.
Instead of buying petrol.
Instead of buying petrol and all that. Okay. So why are you not driving towards bringing more people? So you now have, like, instead of 400 buses, you have 10,000 buses. Okay. And we know that all the people in Lagos, for instance, go on the BRT, they get their cars off the road and they're using BRT buses. But the problem people had is that by the time I enter in the morning, everybody is smelling fine and nice. By the time I'm coming back, the place, there are market women, Yalata, and everywhere is smelling and funny. So a lot of people that had their cars that used to go on BRT stopped, commuting with
Maybe you have premium BRT.
So what are you doing towards that?
So what we are doing is this. For us, especially in primary transport, it is beyond moving from A to B. It's about the kind of experience we want people to have.
Watching movie.
From the point where you, and I'm going to get to your point of the parking, from the point where you buy the tickets, we want to have improved the process such that you can even buy your bus tickets before getting to the bus shelter. You can actually stop in your card and go out. So there are a lot of value adds. We are revamping the entire system to make a very robust back end. You can do USSR, you can go to designated locations, you can, so the entire back end of the system is what is done, we are doing a revamp of. We are also planning to have a car park. Actually, we are planning to start that at some point this year, so that people can park their vehicles and take the bus. There are a lot of value adds. We are working with partners to have Wi-Fi on all the buses. That we should have at some point this year as well. There are a lot of things as a business we are trying to do, and the basis of this thing is what is the experience that you want to have the commuters to be able to talk about. And so yes, there will be people parking their vehicles. Yes, there will be free Wi-Fi on the buses. Yes, you can conveniently buy your tickets. There is this new technology that we are working with Lamata and everybody to bring up. You can, with an app, even see where the next bus is coming. The next bus arrives in 10 minutes and all of those kind of things.
All right, we don't need UK with that.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we also want to find out about the training of the drivers. How they just chance us, all these small cars, they chance us on the road. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, on issue of recklessness, Oga, Mr. Tokwe, I know personally that I've driven on the road and these bus drivers just try to overtake. They go away from their own BRT lane. They come into your own already narrow lane to take over your, and they try to push you off. Who trains these people, and what kind of training do they have?
Who gives them the audacity
to
come into our own small two lanes and send us?
They seem to get the.
I don't think they apply their brakes, because once they turn the steering head, they just enter the road without even waiting for the person to say, okay, go ahead.
Before I let you answer, let me take Abimbola's call. Abimbola, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Mariah.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Abimbola from Agboye Estate.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my contribution is this. There is no problem in them increasing the share, but they need to consider that, number one, in UK, they give preference to the older one, the older age, and why the children. Why they not consider the cost of recession that Nigeria is to now? Why they not consider the children not being paid out? Somebody from an old age from 60 upward, and then they be able to increase on the normal age. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
There's also one question. He has asked a question.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, should we hang in so I can ask 2 questions now? Okay.
Just one question. Kole Adelabu says, please ask Mr. Adeniji, why is it so difficult to top up cards? The men at bus stops don't top up. So 2 questions.
Okay, so from
3
the last
questions.
one.
Let's start with reckless driving.
Okay, fine. On the reckless driving, I'll say this. There are many factors. And the first thing is this. There is always, I think the mindset should be that we are open to continuous improvement. Okay. That is the first thing. Secondly, if you think about why a bus would not be on the BRT corridor, you will see that there are some of the places, and there is a lot, if you look at Ikorodu Road, there is a lot of work going on the corridor. So there are some times that maybe there is work in progress here, the bus might need to go
but they need to hold on. No, they will just put their head and
wait, let me finish this.
So once that is completed, you know for sure that there is no scenario where the bus leaves the lane. Look, we're on this program earlier talking about Okada, and Okadas are reckless, everybody's reckless, but what we are doing, continuous improvement. We continue to train these folks. The training is not just us as primary, the training is working with Lamata, so there is an entire training. We would continue to train, because the truth is you cannot be overtrained. And lives are at stakes in this.
The issue of
old people and young children.
Preference for senior citizens and young.
Because of recession.
Not even recession.
Not necessarily because of recession. Not necessarily because of recession. If you go to our shelters currently, you will see that pregnant women and young folks, they're actually already given preferences in terms of not allowing them to wait. Of course, the preference is not yet in terms of saying you pay less. I think that is something that we should think about, and I think that is something we should.
But let me take Ezekiel. Ezekiel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm calling for the first time.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I want to talk to the official of the
BRT.
And then to tell us our view. We are the regular people that go on from Ikorodu to TBS every day.
Yeah.
The experience in the station there is very, very bad. You know, you get there waiting for the bus, sometimes 5 a.m. on the dot, you're waiting, and then until 6 a.m. you don't get the bus going to TBS. And then I think every time we pay 200 naira, because they just say 195, but the actual amount we pay is 200.
You never have 5 naira change.
Yeah, we don't get 5. You know, 5 naira is not in the market anymore. And then,
so round it up.
I just want to point to them that they need to do something that will make us to have the value of the money we pay every day. Even if they're going to increase their buses, let that be so much.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. Yep. So it's talking about value for money.
Precisely, and that was the point I was trying to make earlier. Look, the increase is one thing. People should get the value. Yes. I talked about a system, a new backend that we're working with on the ticketing. So there might be no need to even go and wait at 5 a.m. And And that is going to be because you must have bought your ticket, or you have it preloaded on the card, or you do the USSR from your phone.
Do you swipe it?
Yes, once you go into the bus, you tap in.
Tap it.
Once you are exiting from the other side, you tap out.
Okay.
So it now charges you the fare, yes, of the trip. So because when you think about the cost of these delays, there are two things. There is the ticketing issue, there is the bus scheduling or the bus operation related issue. The ticketing issue we can resolve like that. The bus operation issue is something you have to consider traffic, because you are not on the dedicated BRT route. Yeah. So it's very likely that once you move the first trip, before you come back, it will take a long time. It will take you some time. But I know that once that corridor is done, it's easy to estimate that, look, any bus that leaves Ikorodu.
The question was
no, it was about ticketing, that they don't do the ticketing right. There's another question saying that they don't have BRT on the Oshodi Apapa route.
Yes.
I'm aware the government is working something around that. Once they can build the corridors, then they begin to involve private companies to come and
okay, are you going to round off the figures though, so that people will not be taking half naira, 5 naira?
No. Well, in terms of figures, I think the government has to announce figures. What I know is what we charge, and you begin to just support that with what the.
Let's see some tweets, please.
Ibrahim Alao says, kindly ask your guest what Primero is doing about making the tapping card available. Pretty much the last question also. John Jude says, please let your guests tell us about the BRT process of recruiting staff and their websites. Thanks.
Okay.
Kunle Adelabu says, although your services had improved, but not more needs to be done. Waiting time is ridiculous. 1 to 2 hours. You wanted to answer
in terms of the recruitment, right now we are actually looking for female drivers.
Yes.
So
I'll be your first female
what does
driver.
every single day? You're acting, you're farming, you're beauty, you're now you want to drive.
So if we have women that would like to drive.
Why women? Why?
No, look, we have bus drivers. We have close to 1,000 anyway.
Gender friendly.
So we have close to 1,000.
Please, I would like to hear the answer to him. Why women?
Because I think the mix for I'll joke and say for sanity among our bus drivers.
Imagine me driving a bus.
No, for sanity, because the way woman probably drive might be. I'm not a nice driver.
We need to round up. Yes.
Kafilat says, BRT says no livestock should be carried on the bus. Jesus. Yes, there are still passengers every day. Some bells are not functional also. Is that true?
Bells functional.
Some bells. We'll check.
Those are technical things.
Yes, livestock can bring chicken inside.
Yes,
so bring chicken and goats.
No, we don't. I don't.
You don't allow it.
Well, they said that
No. Look, there are different bus. There are different bus services. There are different bus services. But we have a safety department that looks at everything before it goes in. The first thing is this: we look at it from the safety point of view.
Okay.
So that is the most important thing that guides our safety team around what goes into a bus.
Just in case you have a pet snake.
A snake.
Someone to bring live chicken inside a BRT bus.
He's transporting the chicken home.
Are you doing that Christmas time?
I went to the market. I would like to carry my chicken.
All right, we have to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much.
Okay, that's all we can take on the show today. Thanks for joining us. Lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Chicken.